Excellence is an art won by training and habituation. We do not act rightly because we have virtue or excellence, but we rather have these because we have acted rightly. These virtues are formed in man by his doing the actions. We are what we repeatedly do. Excellence, then, is not an act, but a habit. The good of man is a working of the soul, in the way of excellence in a complete life. Whereas it is not one swallow or one fine day that makes a spring, so it is not one day or a short time that makes a man blessed and happy. These words from Aristotle have been a cornerstone of ethical philosophy for centuries and still resonate today. The pursuit of excellence through repeated actions and habits is a key to a fulfilling life. But what does it mean to live a complete life of excellence? The concept of happiness has been explored by many philosophers throughout history, each with their own unique perspective. The Stoics, a school of philosophy founded in ancient Greece, believed that happiness is not found in external circumstances, but rather in one's own mindset and inner peace. As Marcus Aurelius, a prominent Stoic philosopher and Roman emperor, once said, "Very little is needed to make a happy life. It is all within yourself, in your way of thinking." In ancient times, the question of ethics and happiness was a major topic of discussion among philosophers, including Aristotle and the Stoic school. According to the basic concept of ethics as the art of living, everything humans do is aimed at living well. However, another important concept of ethics is happiness. Aristotle believed that happiness was the result of knowing how to live. For him, ethics was the art of living, and the result of living in accordance with ethical principles was happiness. While there were multiple concepts and understandings of happiness, the philosophers of the time sought to guide their contemporaries towards virtue as a means of achieving happiness. According to Aristotle, virtue is the habit that makes a person good and allows them to perform their tasks well. It is rational, consistent, and conforms to nature. The Stoics, including Seneca, believed that happiness consisted of living according to reason, or the logos. For them, to be virtuous was to live in accordance with reason and nature, as humans are inherently rational beings. Aristotle, in his work Ethics to Nicomacheus, discusses the purpose of all art, inquiry, action, and purpose of human life, and concludes that it is always the good that all aim for. When discussing what this good, that is the purpose of human life, would be, Aristotle presents us with happiness. However, while affirming that happiness is the supreme good, he questions the proper function of man at the same time. The good for man turns out to be the active exercise of the soul's faculties in conformity with excellence, or if there are more kinds of excellence than one, in conformity with the best and most complete among them. But we must add, in a complete life, whereas it is not one swallow or one fine day that makes a spring, so it is not one day or a short time that makes a man blessed and happy. Assuming that happiness is the purpose of our lives, Aristotle is concerned with demonstrating that human life has a purpose, that is, a function for which it is given. Therefore, such a purpose is objectified within the function to which life occurs. Thus, happiness will result from attending to this function. What is presupposed is not happiness in itself, but its relationship to the art of living, to the know-how of living that we have been discussing from the beginning. And here, we should pay attention to what Aristotle presents to us as happiness. It seems that happiness, more than anything else, is held to be the supreme good, for we choose it always for itself, and never for the sake of something else. But honor, pleasure, reason, and all the other virtues, we choose them partly indeed for themselves, but partly also because they are conducive to happiness, supposing that they are the means of attaining happiness. But no one chooses happiness for the sake of these, nor in general for anything other than itself. Aristotle grounds ethics, the art of living well, with reference to the function of man, that is, human life, for it is not the life of a man, but of the human being, and points to happiness as the search for human life itself, that is, the supreme good that all art, inquiry, action, and purpose should have in mind. Based on the work Ethics to Nicomacheus, we seek to understand what, according to Aristotle, is necessary to be happy. We must observe then that every virtue or excellence both brings into good condition the thing of which it is the excellence and makes the work of that thing be done well. For example, the excellence of the eye makes both the eye and its work good, for it is by the excellence of the eye that we see well. Similarly, the excellence of the horse makes a horse both good in itself and good at running, and at carrying its rider, and at facing the enemy. Therefore, if this is true in every case, the virtue of man also will be the state of character which makes a man good, and which makes him do his own work well. The term excellence used by Aristotle is commonly understood as virtue. There are two kinds of excellence: intellectual, and moral. Intellectual excellence is born and developed with education, that is, with the educational and formative process. Therefore, it develops over time and experience. It is what we are doing to some extent since we started our school life, and that is getting better as we dedicate ourselves more to our studies. Moral excellence, on the other hand, is a product of habit. Everything we can change through habit. The development of moral excellence is crucial for us because it is intertwined with our actions and emotions, which in turn are linked to pleasure or suffering. Therefore, moral excellence is related to how we experience pleasure and suffering. It can be said that moral excellence is the capacity we develop to deal with our emotions and actions in direct relation to pleasure and suffering, which will determine whether we make good or bad use of them. As Aristotle said, "The concern of both moral excellence and political science is with pleasure and pain, since a person who uses them well is good, and one who uses them badly is bad." Moral excellence is said to be the development of habits that will help us choose our actions and emotions, which are marked by excess, deficiency, and the mean. But what is the mean? Aristotle defines it as the balance between excess and deficiency, which is equidistant from both extremes and unique to all men. It is a constant challenge and requires constant reflection and choice. Therefore, the formation of moral excellence is an ongoing pursuit that depends on our rational capacity, as we need to understand the mean and choose it for every action and emotion. Aristotle emphasizes that the key to achieving happiness lies in cultivating moral virtues through habituation. In other words, we must engage in virtuous activities repeatedly to form a habit, which will then become a part of our character. By doing so, we will become good and virtuous people, capable of acting with excellence in every aspect of our lives. This is the foundation of Aristotle's ethical theory, which emphasizes the importance of living a life of virtue, in which we strive for excellence and seek to achieve the highest good. In conclusion, Aristotle's ethical theory provides valuable insights into the nature of human happiness and the pursuit of excellence. His emphasis on the importance of cultivating moral virtues through habituation is still relevant today and can guide us in our own pursuit of a happy and fulfilling life. By striving for excellence in all that we do and cultivating good habits, we can become virtuous people and achieve the highest good that Aristotle believed was the ultimate goal of human life.